Very soon, Texas is going to require every classroom in its public schools to put up a display of the Ten Commandments. That is set to take effect on September 1st after a law passed earlier this year. However, there is a court battle aiming to block that. But first, let's catch up on how we got here. For years, the most conservative members of the Texas state legislature have wanted to pass a law like SB 10. Finally, both chambers of the legislature approved this earlier this year, and Governor Greg Abbott signed it into law. What SB 10 mandates is that each classroom in public schools must have a poster or a framed copy of the Ten Commandments. The law here even lays out what the language should say. It also requires it to be at least 16 by 20 inches in size. The state senator who brought this bill forward argued all along during the debates that this was a way to be able to remind students about the influence of the Ten Commandments on American and Texas history.
You have a hard time finding any document, which has had a greater influence on our legal and moral code.
However, critics, especially Democrats in the state legislature, argued that this excludes students who have a different faith.
We're putting up a poster that says their religion is inferior. We're putting up a poster that says their faith is not welcome here.
That all brings us to Friday. A federal court in San Antonio will hear a challenge aimed at blocking Senate Bill 10 from taking effect. Several civil rights groups, including the ACLU, brought forward this lawsuit on behalf of these 16 families. They are arguing that this law is unconstitutional and violates the separation of church and state. Louisiana passed a very similar law, and a federal court actually blocked it from taking effect, as you can see. State Senator Adam Hinojosa shared this information this week, that a Texas businessman has pledged to donate a copy of the Ten Commandments to every public school in his district, which incorporates Corpus Christi. Now, by law, school districts in Texas have to accept it if they did not already pay to put those posters up themselves. Now we wait to see what comes out of that federal court in San Antonio, whether this law will be blocked or will move forward and require schools to display the Ten Commandments in every classroom. My name is Will Dupree. I'm a reporter and an anchor here in Austin, Texas. And once we get any kind of updates about this, I'll be sure to pass them along. Thanks for watching.